What's going on, guys? Luke from Mr. FBA UK. Right, another video. I'm not bringing them out every day because we've got the whole of September to bring out Q4 videos, and I'm going to do them in sort of like preparation stages. So sometimes it'll take you a little bit of time to do these things, and you don't want to have to do it all at the last minute. You can do, but this would just be like the things you maybe take a little bit longer at the beginning, or maybe more than like 10 minutes, maybe take a couple of hours or something. Even longer possibly. It just depends how fast you are, how good you are with Excel and all that sort of thing. So this is all to do with replenishables for Q4. So it's all about you know, for me, I'll have replenishables all the time throughout the year, and I'll just, you know, it depends on what my capital sort of. If I've got loads of capital, I'll push the replenishables more. There is actually the other video which is like 10 ways to source profitable products, which is literally like I'll link it below because there's no reason for me to have to do another video on it. Like, you could literally just copy them like processes for Q4, because what you find is that as Q4 starts rolling, I was looking actually at my how much money I was withdrawing from Amazon in November, because the accountant asked for it. So I went to my statements, and I could see like every 2 days I was withdrawing like £1,000, and like sometimes 2,000, £2,500, £3,000, because if it fell over a weekend, you obviously couldn't get it like on the weekend. So I'd basically let it sort of roll over a couple more days, and you'd be getting £3,000. So I'd have like £3,000 on Monday coming in, £1,500 on Tuesday, £1,000 on, you know, and that was my first Q4 as well. Like not alone. Sorry. Whatever I'm trying to say, but not this one. This one for me, I'm trying to even at least. I want to double what I did last year, but I know that there's going to be so many things out of my control as well, so I don't want to get my hopes up. But that's my plan. I'm going to try to get everything in place so that I have the best chance, and that's what you can do. Put yourself in positions that you have the best chance, because and that can really just like power you through Q4. So I'll link the video to 10 profitable ways to source. You really need to use that as one of the sort of like Q4 tips, but I won't do it again because it's only done like 2 months ago, I think, and all of those I'll probably post it in the group as well, let's say, because some people might have forgotten about it or whatever. But we're just going to go over how to set up your replenishables for, I'd say, the end of September, so that you've got it in place for the end of September and you know what to do, and you don't really have to think too much about it. It's sort of second nature, and you have all the spreadsheets set up, and if you want, I can even sort of get some of these spreadsheets as a default and add them to the group, which I might just do anyway as a thing. But yeah, I mean, these are pretty easy to set up yourself. There's nothing too complex, and you can usually just adapt it from your current purchase sheet. So whatever you're using now, you know, you don't have to look at these columns here and copy my columns, and these aren't even what I use now. Before, it was just date. Did that go to a prep center? Did I use half of these? I use received. So I basically just press Y. Not that this is based on replenishables, just to explain roughly. That would be Y to say yes, and then I can just see what's going on and be like, oh right, okay, most of it's now being received. Let's pick up the pace on purchasing, because if I've got like a sort of juggle like what I've got to come and how much is in the bank. So if I've got a lot in the bank, I might think maybe I haven't bought a lot and then I need to pick it up, and then you can sort of use both as like a little bit of a reconciliation. So maybe, because you know, there are times you do quite well in a week or a weekend, and you get a lot of money, and you've still got a lot to come in, which is the best position. You want both those to be sort of green. You got a lot of money and a lot to come in, because you know that's what you keep wanting, but you don't want to have one that's green and one that's red. So green as in I've got a lot to come in, but I've got no money in the bank to actually buy any more when these come in. You know, I've got 100 quid and these are all going to come in the next 2 days, and you're thinking, okay, I've got to, because you want to sort of keep that cycle really like clean. You want to have it in and out, and as the stuff's waiting to come in 1 or 2 days, you've already had the next lot of stuff being purchased to come in the day after that and day after that, so you don't really have any gaps. And this is all exactly what I'm trying to get in these videos, just to try to fill those little gaps to streamline it as well for Q4 as you can. So I'm going to go over I'm literally going to do a like almost step by step how to do replenishables yourself. And a lot of people say how, and I used to think the same, or I'd find 1 or 2 items that are replenished, 1 or 2. And it was quite interesting to see, like, just a little bit of time, you know. I'll show you what I mean. So this is actually my old Q4 sourcing sheet. Now, I picked up all these items from my OA purchases. So you can see here, OT means, what does that mean? Something like second hand. So I used to sell second hand electronics. Literally is a beautiful market. You used to make I think I used to make over 100% ROI every month. But you'd have to go on Facebook Marketplace. This was the technique I used to do. Facebook Marketplace. You price up all the bundles, so you get all the Mario games, and you write down each cost that you can get it for after fees on Amazon. You write out lists and lists and lists of all the products, and then you find, like, 2 items every couple of days that you can just go and pick up. Used to, at 8 o'clock in the evening, drive off to Bournemouth, hours trip, pick it up. This is why I was working. For me, anything to get out of the job, but it's not long term. You really got to transition through to RA, which is then quite manually intensive. And I actually quite like RA. It's quite fun. I used to stay in hotels overnight and do, like, weekend trips away, and you get used to the routes as well. So you sort of you're almost going away on a little holiday, because you get excited because you sort of know how it works. You know you know where to go, what to look for. So it's not like a really challenging experience. But then really you need to move over to online arbitrage, and then eventually you would outsource the online arbitrage, which would be the next step, and then you would actually not be doing online arbitrage, and this would be like your passive income, earning you a salary while you then can pursue your goals. That's how I try to sort of, that's a little insight I like to give people. You don't find what you want to do, you find what you can do, and then once you can get money from it to pay you, that's when you have time to then do what you want to do. Anyway, I might as well start the video again. No, I'm joking. Let's actually get into the replenishables. So this is literally all the things that I started putting in for my last, here we are, last Q4. So I did star, ASIN, what the item was, links, and this is actually an interesting thing. I put times purchased, so I would actually go through my online arbitrage, let's say 6 months. You don't want to really go too much older. I'd count how many times I reordered the item, and then you could put, like, in Q4 reorder, and then you could then add up a tally how many times in Q4 you're ordering these things. So you might order that 4 times by mid-November, and then you can filter to see what you're reordering the most. And then we would go to, if you have extra cash and you have maybe low stock, you know what you need to look up to buy first. And I would also, I'll put 1100. But for this experiment, we're going to delete that because the prices for all of those could have changed. I don't use this sheet anymore, so it doesn't matter. So we're literally just I'll scroll down a little bit. Let's go to, I don't want to go too far down and get you seeing all the stuff I'm buying, but let's just go here. Okay, so some of the links will be old. Let's just start on these Superdrug items. So I would look here, and I would see that I clearly purchased this. Let's say that this is 2017 Q4. We are now in 2017 Q4. I would then go back about 6 months, and maybe more. It just depends on you. You get used. You know what you're selling and what sort of stuff's good to sell. And I would literally just go onto Superdrug, and let's see what it brings. So here we go. 2 for 8. The item is exactly the same. The link will be the same item. And normally they'll disappear. The link will disappear, and that sort of thing. Just while I remember, these can also be used for like 2-for-1s. So Argos love their all the companies 2-for-1s, 3-for-2s, 17 for 50, and basically just throwing out free toys. I normally go over my old Argos 3-for-2s and all that, and just see what I bought last time, and almost use that as a starting point when knowing what to buy for the next 3-for-2 or this 3-for-2. And I do have Bookable VA, and they normally bring out good like bonus sheets for this sort of thing, which I really like. So you can, when there's like, was it 2-for-1 or something, or buy one get one half price, they'll just bring out just that one store, but you know, like 20 different leads, and then they're just do the standard ones. I can also add a link to. I'm sure everyone knows of these already anyway, but I can add a couple of links just so you can see what I'm talking about. But on this, 2 for £8, £4, £4 for one. Okay. Now, okay, that's just for ease. I'm going to jump in and have a quick look and see what it's saying. £4. All right, something like 10.93. You see, look how easy it is. Now, yes, one, you might not be able to sell in beauty. That's number one. 2, you might not want to sell this item because I don't sell every item, so I actually don't sell this item. So you can go ahead and sell it. I'm pretty sure that it will say that I can sell it. So actually, I will be bringing a BuyBot Pro video out. It'll probably be maybe tomorrow. I'm doing. There's so much going on. I'm trying to like balance about 50 things, but I don't want to negate or neglect many. So private label likely. It's not, because you know it's L'Oreal Paris, so you can use your own judgment. It's not in hazmat, and I also just like to, you know, I would just do this and see, yeah, does it look? And that's, you know, realistically, there's no reason to say that you can't sell it, and I'm just being a bit cautious because I don't sell every item depending on how I feel. So there's a lot of items I've added to my inventory to sell over the year, because I can see other sellers are selling it, and you get used to who sells what, like what sellers are who in the industry, or whatever you want to call it. But I don't sell this because I used to, and then I heard someone said something about L'Oreal cracking down on their products, and touch wood, this because I haven't had a policy violation as yet, apart from when I was doing the second-hand things related to like a inauthentic controller, which was like last January, like almost 2 years ago in January. And as soon as that sort of came through, knowing I knew it would, I sort of transitioned through to the non-second hand, because you can't back it up with receipts and stuff to prove its legitimacy. So, you know, if you're going to carry on like that, you either have to be 100% everything is perfect, and even then, you know, you don't know what the customer's going to do. So, but because of this, you know, I want longevity over making profits now. I sort of, because I've heard that L'Oreal were doing that, I've sort of stopped selling L'Oreal. But it doesn't mean that I wouldn't, you know, I had a couple here and I decided to send them back. I could have sent them in, they probably would have sold by now, and I would have been fine, because look, people are still selling it. So it's just, you know, but I'm just doing it for the long game. Like I don't mind sending something back, even if I could get a couple quid for it. So, you know, and that was just that. So that was straight away. You can see 2 for £8. You can buy, you know, 8. Send them in. Next, let's see. I'm just going to go over ones I sort of know the obvious name, like Nivea. So like discontinued. So I now know not to include that. So you could go ahead here. Let's say you are just open to putting everything in these sheets for now to see what you can do. So Q4. So you can just put Q4 and like sourcing. But for me this year, I'm actually going to do it in categories. So I'm going to do it toys, beauty, groceries. I'm not going to go too hardcore into it. Maybe health and beauty. And even if it's an electricals, I'll just like chuck it. If it's a hairdryer, just chuck it into the health and beauty. Go ahead and just grab it. You don't even grab all the information. Maybe just put. Oh, let's just paste this. I'm not going to go ahead and do this for every entry. Just like product, paste in, website, Q4. You can put Q4 purchases. But right now, you just want the information. But just right now, you just want the information. Just go ahead and bold, underline, just make it a bit neat, because you want to see it. You want it to be as easy as possible when you do it. And obviously, you can go. It may change over time. So what happens is this price might actually be a half price in a month. So you might actually go to it and find out it's cheaper than it is now, because it might change the half price, but because there's deals on all the time, so half price actually would be what, £3.14 or whatever it comes to. But there's so many deals, and that you think, as soon as you see one deal, you think, oh my god, I need to get the deal now, but it isn't necessarily the case. You have to bulk up because you'll find that these replenishables and you don't really have to get really that sort of anxious feeling that you have to act, when actually you can be a little bit more relaxed than you might think. So let's just carry on down here. Oh, I haven't got a link for that. So you can see here, that's actually the same. Is that the same item? So I repurchased, and you can see here I bought 6. These are my quantities. 24 of this one, but this isn't in Q4 either, so this is just my general. But you can just read Keeper and figure it out for yourself. So Dove, useful. I mean, I might even go back over these myself. This is over a year ago. This is January. Just the rate. August. Okay, it's today. A year ago today. Perfect. So you thinking, where am I finding deals? This is a year old, and the deals are still there. And of course, they're not going to be everywhere, but you just need to spend the time. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. So this might even be one I buy. Yeah, well, maybe not if I get too many people decide to do the same thing. So it's 3-pack. All right, so 2 for 4 quid. So it's a 3-pack. So obviously that's £6. Yes, you're going to have to buy more than that, more than 3. 6 quid. Let's see what it comes up as. Okay, so it looks like it could be hazmat. Straight off the bat, and that's why this is quite helpful, because I used to have the Amazon app up all the time on my phone, and that's the only thing I would actually use as well. So a lot of people say, what do you use to find out if this? I literally just would find the item, find Amazon page, and then go on the app on my phone. It's not a hazmat at all. The interesting thing is, you think, okay, there's no profit in this, but it's because it's dispatched by, it's basically not FBA. So this is the buy box. So this is where it gets interesting. I'm doing a live demo here, so I don't have the third-party FBA, because I'm thinking, why is no one selling this item now? So there's a guy here and selling it $11.99. United Goods, I recognise the name. It looks reasonable here. Is this a year old? Yeah, it is. And actually, this is a reasonably... I sell Mitcham items anyway, so we can look at the buy boxes here. It's at $13.97, and it's still selling very well. Look, in this area here, it's $13.97 there and $37 there, and probably around here. So actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say it's 10 to 12. Let's say just to say 10. So that's what, 2 weeks? Not even that. Okay, that was last night, 2 weeks. In 10 days, there's 10 sales. Okay, and it was selling at the $13.97. So, and this is literally as easy as it is. And what was it? We say it's 6 quid. 2 for 4. Oh, and then you just say you buy like 30 of them, or you'd work out how many you need to buy so that each one always costs you £2 each. So we just didn't do this one on the calculator. And yes, these videos might be a little bit too long for people, but I just I'm going to go at my leisurely pace, because you can watch 5-minute videos, but ultimately, is it going to help you? Some people think, well, I want time to watch TV. Well, okay, if you want to go and watch TV, that's fine. Okay, so it's £6. Anyway, let's just quickly see what you do here. Did it analyse? It's saying average, 46%. I don't really look at these sort of figures at all, to be fair. I literally look at ROI, the profit, hazmat, and that's it. That's literally it. So, because and keeper, of course. So we're just going to go back to the normal 3-month period, and you can just see this. This has got 4 sellers. So to me, I'm making 44% ROI on this. That seller, obviously, on the FBA at the bottom, is clearly trying to get the only people that want to buy it through FBA to just buy it. So you can see, yeah, someone entered the market there. Oh god, I have the oldest Mac in the world. And not to lie, this Mac is a 2008 Mac. I can't even believe it does things like connects to the internet, let alone anything else. But yeah, I got this second hand, when I started Amazon, and I've not really got rid of it because it's no need. It's just a bit slow now and then. So That's why it's a bit slow. So yeah, so for me, let's say we're going to get all 10 of those sales because there's no one here. Well, this isn't even Q4. Like, this is prep for Q4, but you can go ahead and buy it now. You see, so the earlier you do it, the better it is for everyone. And this is like building up your own sourcing lists. Because I forgot I even would have bought this. You see, you buy so many hundreds and thousands of items probably, you just forget. And perfect. So I would literally go ahead and buy 30. Yeah, easy. Not even. Yeah, I mean that's just an easy 30 purchase because obviously they're 3 packs. Boom. It's a shame, isn't it? See that you'll find that as well. You can get 10. You can't. Oh, see, I guess he hopes so. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The whole fact is that I'm trying to show you that. Oh no, but they. Yeah, so you can't do it. What a shame. Doesn't matter. I'm just trying to explain to you that actually got me excited. But it got me excited looking over my own purchases. Like, I wouldn't have even gone over these probably if I wasn't doing this video. I would have only gone over my more recent ones. You know, but that's just basic. Okay, Radox. Anything here for Radox? And I'm not even jumping very far between these. Like, this is just like, you know, this is actually quite. It's not like I'm going through loads of searches and there's nothing coming up. Like, almost like a copy and paste method. Like, nothing. This is actually like every time 90. Okay, this one just make sure. Can I buy 12? Normally, Super Drop will tell you if they're out of stock. Yeah, I can buy 12. Okay, at least we know. So where was it? Radox here. It's at 96p, and it's at the same price. It literally is the same price as I bought it for a year ago. And what? Okay, this is not 2p up. But what you see is these things are just cycling through, and items don't change. This is going for £4.67. I don't know if it's going to make that much money. It does. It looks a bit funny. Don't get me wrong. It does, but it's a Radox shower gel, so I can't really expect many people to worry about people selling this. So, but you will find that when it comes to Q4, like more the merrier. You think, oh, it's only 97p. I'm probably making 80p, 78p, 65p. It's 66% ROI. Personally, if I have, because you're getting 1,000, I get £2,000 in one day, with £2,000 in the next day, and the further you get through Q4, the more you'll get per day because the money going in and out is coming out so fast that instead of it taking 7 days to sell, it's selling in a day and a half. So you're getting all of your money that you would get over a month in 5 days or 6 days, and then you have another, and then you're obviously only at day 6 in the month, and you can put that same value through 5 or 6 times that it would normally take you a month to put through. And that's sort of how it goes. I know I sort of preach that, but and look, perfect. It doesn't. The prices doesn't even fluctuate. Yes, okay, a little bit. So for me, I would probably go ahead. How many other sellers? There's 8 sellers, and when it gets to things like this, I don't spend very long analysing because it's a waste of time. If I did it for every little item like this, I'd go 66%, 65p. Okay, not awful, but it's under £1 to buy. That's buy 8 done. Like, I wouldn't even care about the exact number. Like, it's just up at 8, or I could get 12 if it was like right in Q4 12. Because yeah, it won't get bought, but it will. People do buy these things as like silly presents. My mum, you get socks and you get aftershave, you get soap. But there's still a higher demand in Christmas, even though really there's nothing special about the item. So let's go ahead and close this. Okay, I've got 8 of that. Next. Alright, let's see what this thing is. I'm just going by the names that I sort of know that stick out. Garnier, 6 out. 169. I'm going to rush through some of these, okay? So it's 10p higher than it was a year ago. 169. It's better than half price. And let's just make sure we can pick up some. Let's just type in 10. Normally I wouldn't do this first. I'll just go as, but just so we can see. Garnier. And also, again, okay, Amazon now sell it. Ignore this trash. So straight away, get it out. Get out of there, sorry. That one doesn't seem to want to work. So Smiths. Let's go about Smiths and stuff like this are usually seasonal, a bit more, and you've got to be a bit more on it, but you can see these things like Jag. I've never, see if they even sell it still. 43, 33. So it's even more expensive. Like it's like £10 more expensive now than it was a year ago. And you'll notice a lot of things are like they're old. Like toys, they've been out for years and years and years, and they just cycle them through again and again and again. Okay, Amazon sell it, so that's why it's at 50 quid. So you've got to look at these things like 50 quid, it's higher, but Amazon sell it, so HMV. I don't want to. I'm sort of trying to pick ones that could be like. I actually don't sell it really hard half of these things anymore. Just because I'm trying to find like an Argos badge maybe. So something went wrong on Argos means it doesn't there. So I used to sell a lot of DVDs back then as well. I don't really do it anymore. I just know that I bought a lot of Skylanders figures last year. Okay, so these are all of my like 3 for 2. So I can now look when was the last 3 for 2, because I know, because I was buying like bulk Furbies, like. And what you want to find out with, be careful with 3 for 2s and all that sort of thing with Argos, it's normally the cheapest one free. And if you go to Argos and collect them, but you collect it in a part order, it's only the cheapest of that part order and not what the total would have told you at the beginning. So when you go to checkout and you say collect from store and you pay for it, so you do. So that's it. Always pay for it. Don't do the pay in store, because if you do collect a part order, they just do it off that little part order. That is that's a mini order, and then the prices that you've done are completely wrong, and yeah, disaster. I don't even really think they sell Herbies anymore. Let's actually see. But I now know that my last something went wrong. It says you can't see it, but at the top it says it on the search. Something like this Hot Wheels spinner though. I'm not sure if they. Okay, clearance. So. Like the things that I don't know why they got rid of Furby. Maybe they was defective or something. But all right, let's just type in my postcode. Well, actually, this isn't even mine. It's my old place, but it's just the easiest one I remember. Smash it in. Probably none in stock. Oh, okay, I can get it from Christchurch. So anyone near Bournemouth, I guess it's semi near Christchurch. But you don't know. You never know. That's the thing. You got to just. You just got to do it, and you got to. It is a bit of a grind, yeah. But it's like, how do you want to make £10,000 profit in Q4? Do you want to make £20,000 profit in Q4? Do you want to make £3,000 profit in Q4? All these little extras, like this one might be. So most of the things will still exist, and this will probably go on offer for Christmas, just like it did before. At Argos and so on. Okay, well, let's just pretend I could have collected this one, this Hot Wheels one, because someone can from somewhere, can't they? Like I could drive to Christchurch if I really. If I was picking up enough, I'd probably do it. If I could buy maybe. So you got to figure out. For me, it's about 45 minutes drive. It might even be like an hour's drive. So for 2 hours drive, you work out the petrol. Yeah, it takes time. I used to find a nice run was just to go to like 6 or 7 Argoses around like a little zone, and so it's only 10 minutes to the first one, 10 minutes to the next one. It's just little things. When you do it long enough, you start just thinking outside the box a little bit. But you can see here it's selling at this price. You can look down here. Amazon are selling it or did sell it. Okay, so maybe I won't sell that one. I'm going to go down to some other items that look a bit obvious in terms of items I might be able to buy. Disney, they have some great offers all the time, but you've got to be careful not to get weighed down with them. Stuff like this, like Holland and Barrett, I just cycle through all this stuff all the time. I just get rid of some of the load bars so it loads faster. Buy one get on half price of £7.99 divided by 2 plus £7.99 divided by 2. £5.99 a pop. Probably too expensive, but it was £5.99 before when I bought it. But you'll find things you have no idea what the price is going to be. £5.99. I purchased this from £5.99 before, and it was selling at £15, and now it's at £7. Let's go down, go down, go down. And yes, you're going to have to just spend a lot of time. And obviously, you wouldn't be going down to October 2015. You would obviously be working up. And I would say do one by one. So work your way up like this, one by one. Don't just pick and choose, because it's like with Amazon online arbitrage. You don't pick and choose when you buy your items. There's no emotional attachment to this. You literally just click 20 of an item because a keeper chart says click 20. So you almost don't even care what the words say. You almost want to act like this. This is how you're acting. You don't even know what the item is, and you're just playing along, because that's how you have to do it. So 2 for 15. I used to buy these all day long. 2 for 15. 7.50. I think I stopped because the margins got pushed down. This has been that price for a while. Peppa Pig, Miracle here at 7.50. I think it got pushed down a bit too low. But sometimes at Christmas, it's not bad going for the slightly lowers. Going for people sometimes are very, very tight-knit in their search parameters. And to be fair, you don't need to be, because you could sell this item 40 times in a month. Yes, you're only making 29.5%, so just under 30%. But look at this. Let's look for the year. We're going to look in January. So you can see this chart. Oh, I clicked wrong place. You can see this chart already. You can see. Sorry, a year. The reason that it's obviously really, really popular here is because the price has been driven down. It was even selling at $9.99 here, but obviously at Christmas time it was selling at 15, 14, and 16. But you can see this here. You can see how low that's gone from December. Let's say it's from there. Yes, it's jammed. Perfect. Let's say the beginning of December. So you could sell 40 or 50, making like £1. Let's just type in 750. Let's see. And actually, this has got me adding VAT as well. So if you're not VAT registered, you're actually getting more than what's showing me. So I can get £2. I can actually get a bit more than that because I'm on flat rate. So I get £2 per £7.50. But if you're getting £2 in your bank, £2,000, how many of these? 266 in just one day, and then tomorrow I'm going to get into two grand. Yes, that's not going to be for everyone, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, so if you're not willing to spend £2 and you're only getting half, you buy 40. You're selling them within the month, and I probably wouldn't even buy 40. I'd buy 12 or 20, as long as you have deal flow, because you want to make sure. If I've got plenty of deal flow, I wouldn't go ahead and buy 60 of these, because I want to spread the bet, spread the risk. I don't want it, even though I can see and read and whatever, I don't want to be stuck with 20 at the end. So I'll just buy 15, 16. So I have to buy one, get one free, wouldn't I? And also it depends on the quantity of the places. So you're not going to probably get 40 at Argos and stuff like that, and you just got to build it up. But here, £2, £7.50 at 25%, I'm happy with that. I'm getting £2. If I sell 40. You're getting 80 quid from one item in 1 month. So it's paying. So this item, how long do you reckon it takes to buy? If you can get the 40 delivered, so now it takes you 10 minutes to purchase it, and because you've got 40 of the same item, it takes you 2 seconds to add it to Amazon. That's if you're not, obviously you're not doing, if you're doing it yourself, but if you're not, obviously it's easier. But it takes 2 seconds to add it to Amazon. You just type in 40, it prints up 40 stickers, and I can bash that through in 10 minutes. So I spent 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I made £80, you see. And a lot of people overlook these things, but in Q4 it's like all bets are off on your normal search. And I don't know if anyone's going to touch over this. Maybe I'll touch over it on another video. I sort of like merge my videos so they're actually just a general chat about stuff. But yeah, it's hard to know what other people, other like YouTubers or groups are going to talk about it. But yeah, so I would say literally redefine. Like if it was like, 18%, if it was like 4%, but you're getting £3.50, maybe not, because the amount that you're putting up would be higher. So you got to look at it case by case. But I'll just do a couple more examples, and then I'll sort of talk about how to structure it. A lot of these things from Debenhams and stuff, for example, would be a one-off. Like, there's no way they're going to be selling these Legos again. No, I got so many of these Legos at one point. Yeah, luckily it's currently out of stock. Otherwise, I would have cried and just bought like a whole lot. And you can see what I'm trying to say. And just go through like hundreds and hundreds of transactions and split these up. Toys would probably be more. Toys and beauty would be the most obvious. That should replenish. Groceries, of course they will, but and then maybe put like a Q4 like 3 for 2 column. So that would be anything that, or like, does Smiths do it? Basically, just find a company that does it. Definitely Argos, they do 3 for 2s. And then put all of your Argos toys into a list. So first thing you do, as soon as the sort of offer from them goes live, you're going on it, and you're doing it straight away, and you want to get it in and out as fast as possible for 3 for 2s, because everyone is doing it. The quicker you get it in, the more your premium was set that premium, and as it drops, you can do like dollar cost averaging, they call it, or like pound cost averaging, if you really want to do it that way. But like you would have sold, if you bought 15 or 20, you sold the first 5 for the top amount of money that you actually saw it when you on your analysis, because you got it that day and you sent it in that day, and it took 24 hours to book in. And that's literally your attitude for Q4. That's literally how it's got to be. So ruthless in your like attitude towards it. And then you would obviously sell your first 5, and as more people send it in, it will go down and down. And that happens. That with 3 for 2s, this always happens. But it is like a dog eat dog world as well. But everyone still makes money most of the time, unless you are doing something seriously wrong. So build up your lists. Literally just build them up, and then while you're obviously sourcing in Q4, you can add to them. So you can, at the end of October, go back, check all of your Octobers, see if they're, or if you know that, what's the best way to describe it? Like preparing the best things in advance. So you sort of know that in October maybe you buy 10, but you know that you might want to buy 20 next month, and you would just put it to a list, and then like put a note next to it. You just sort of, that way you're not like forgetting it exists and having to stumble across it. Like, what do I buy? This one. Oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, I got none in stock. So I'm going to leave it there because it's 37 minutes long, and yeah, it's only about replenishables. But yeah, you might not find loads. You might only find 5 to 10, but by the time Q4 comes, you might be able to add to that, and it all adds up. Even as small as it is, or as big as it is, they equal the same if you do it enough. If you do the little things enough, it will equal a big thing, and if you do a big thing, well, you got a big thing. I'll leave it there. Hope you like the video. If you want to see like any of these spreadsheets, see anything else on the videos, I'll add a couple of a bit in the description, and then an attachment or whatever you call it, a link to the 10 ways to source profitable products, and this is actually one of the ways. But obviously that's quite a long video and quite like meaty, so it's maybe easy to get these in little snippets, a bit more explanation. This is what it is. Yeah, and I'll see you on the next video.